All right, third graders, let's talk about input-output tables. In front of us, we have an input and an output table. On the top left side, it says in. On the top right, it says out. So on the left side, these are the numbers that will be changed in some way. With each number, there's going to be a rule, and that rule will be the same for all the numbers on the left. And once you apply that rule to the number, it will change into the number on the right-hand side. So let's look at the numbers on the left. We have 5, 50, and 78. Well, let's try to figure out how these numbers are changing as they go through to the outside. Think of it like a machine. You put something in a machine, it does something to it on the inside, and on the other side it comes out and the product is different. So that's going to be happening here with these numbers. So we've got the number 5. Number 5 is going through the machine and then out pops 10. Well, what are the different ways that 5 could be changed so it can get to the number 10? It's getting larger, right? So we've got two options. Either 5 is multiplying by something, or a number is being added to 5. Those are our two options in math when your amount is getting bigger. So I'm just going to write some ideas here on the side. How can I get from 5 to 10? Well, could I add 5? I could do that. I could also multiply 5 by 2 to get to 10, right? So I'm going to write times 2 as well. And now I need to decide if that rule is going to apply to the next number, because remember, the rule is the same on all of the numbers on the left side. So the next number over here is 50. 50 is going to go into the machine, something's going to happen, the rule is going to apply, and then out it's going to pop 55. Well, let's look at the rule. We've got possible rules of adding 5 or multiplying by 2. I know if I add 5 to 50, I'm going to get 55, right? If I multiply 5 by 2, it's 100. And that's not the number I got. So I know my rule is almost for sure adding 5. I'm going to double check with the next number in the chart. I've got 78 is going to go into the machine. Something's going to happen to it. The rule's going to apply, and out pops 83. Well, let's follow the rule that we believe it is. Adding 5 is 78 plus 5, 83? Yes, it is. So my rule here for this specific input-output table is adding 5. And so whenever you look at an input-output table, you will be in charge of finding what the rule is. Now remember, if the number is getting larger, you're either adding or multiplying. If the number is getting smaller, you're either subtracting or dividing. Let's do another one. In this input table, we've got 19, 39, and 82 on the left side. Those numbers are going to go into the machine. They're going to be changed by some amounts, some kind of rule is going to change them, and then they're going to pop out the other side. So 19 is going to change into 2. Well, what are the different ways that 19 could change into the number 2? Now it's getting smaller. So my options are either subtraction or division. I'm looking at the number 19. I know that I can't divide 19 by any number to get to 2. Okay? 19 can't be divided by a number and the answer 2. So that's out of the question. So I'm subtracting. Chances are I'm subtracting. And that means I have to ask myself, what number am I taking away from 19 to get to 2? What's the difference between 19 and 2? Well, when there's a difference in math, we subtract. So 19 take away 2 is 17. Okay? So that is probably our rule. We're going to have to double check that. We have a next number, 39. And it goes in the machine and out pops 22. Well, if we follow the same rule, is 39 minus 17, does that equal 22? It sure does. So let's double check our last number. Is 82 take away 17, does that equal 65. Let me do some mental math here. Yep, it sure does. 82 take away 17 equals 65. So our rule for this table is subtract 17. Let's do another one. In this table, we have 3, 4, and 8. And then on the right-hand side, we have 18, 24, and 48. So I know my amounts are getting larger as they're going in the input-output table machine and then coming out on the other side. So I'm either adding or I'm multiplying. So I've got 3 turning into 18. Well, what are my different options? Okay, so I know that 3 plus 15 equals 18. So I could either be adding 15. And then I know that 3 times 6 is 18. So those are my two options. I'm going to try out that rule with both numbers on the next one. So I've got 4. Let's try out the first rule. Is 4 plus 15 24? No, that's 19. So chances are the next rule, which is multiplying by 6, is 4 times 6 24? It sure is. So that's the rule. I'm almost 100% sure. Let's go on to the next number. Is 8 plus 15 48? No, I'm just going to cross that guy out. Nope. 8 times 6 is 48. So I know that my rule for this input-output table is multiply by 6 because each number is multiplying by 6 to get the next number. So remember, when you are trying to find the rule of an input-output table, ask yourself first, are the numbers getting larger or smaller? If they're getting larger, you're either adding or multiplying. If they are getting smaller, you're either subtracting or dividing. And feel free to rewatch this video in case you kind of are unsure of how to find the rule of an input-output table.